Hey folks, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Happy Friday. It's Friday, November 10th. Hope you're well. And in this video, we're going to be diving into Aurora. MJ, we're going to be discussing their recent earnings for Q2 2024. They had record positive adjusted EBITDA, and we'll dive into the chart and what to expect in terms of the technicals and price action in the days, weeks, months ahead. But not financial advice. This is for entertainment and informational purposes only. Before we get to that and more, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or whenever I go live. Also, make sure to give us a follow on X, which is previously Twitter, and the handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So we'll jump into the report here. Aurora MJ announces fiscal 2024 second quarter results and delivers record positive adjusted EBITDA. Not gonna lie, I had to dissect this report quite a bit. It is a little bit confusing. There's a lot going on in it, but overall a great quarter for Aurora. Full disclosure, I don't own any Aurora directly in my MJ portfolio, but it definitely is starting to turn some heads. So definitely showing some potential here and righting of the ship. But we'll go through some of the highlights here, and then we'll jump into the report from Edgar, SEC.gov, and then we'll look at some of the analyst expectations as well. There's some weird discrepancies going on here on investing.com, but like I said, we'll take a look at all of that here and more in just a moment. But they delivered record positive adjusted EBITDA, as mentioned, of 3.4 million. They had quarterly net revenue of 63.4 million, which rose 30% year over year, and strong growth of 42% in global medical MJ. Net cash position of over 200 million, and they expect to repay the remaining US 5.3 million balance of convertible senior notes in February of next year. And they also reaffirmed their target of achieving positive free cash flow in calendar year 2024, so next year. And we'll go through this. This is all mentioned in Canadian dollars as well, unless otherwise stated. But we'll go through here. So the forecast for revenue, you can see here it says November 9th and then November 29th, 2023. Not sure what was happening here, but it looks like they had some sort of a typo there or glitch or error. But you can see here they were expecting 63.03 million and then negative 0.065 for EPS. So they actually came in with a beat on both of those. And if we take a look at the US side, so it was 46.88 million USD and then negative 0.0485 USD for earnings per share. So they did come in slightly negative on, but it was basically flat at zero there for EPS. So they had a beat there. And then, like I said, in terms of their quarterly revenues, came in at 63.4, and analysts were expecting 63.03. So slight beat there in terms of revenue and pretty big beat in terms of EPS. So again, we'll go through this here so you can see on the SEC filing. If we go down to revenue, so you can see here net revenue 63,418,000, and then if we go down here to the net loss, you can see comprehensive loss 3.02 million. And then if you go down here to your shares outstanding, you can see here balance as of September 30th, 2023, 420,609,141 shares. So you would just take your comprehensive loss, which is 302 million, and then you would divide that by the amount of shares outstanding as of September 30th, 2023. So you divide that by 420,609,141, and you've got negative 0.007. So again, we were expecting negative 0.065, so big beat there in terms of EPS. We'll go through this a little bit quicker here, and then we'll take a look at the chart. Spoiler alert, though, it is definitely a little bit weaker comparative to some of our other names in the sector. Still yet to even start the monthly bounce, so we still got a while before we confirm monthly uptrends, which we know we need across the sector before we can be confident that this multi-year bear market is over and that we're potentially starting a new multi-year bull market. But overall, company seems to be turning things around. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this, what you thought of this what you thought of this report. If there's anything that I didn't mention, and then if you joined the conference call. I wasn't able to join the conference call. It was a busy week. I mentioned it was going to be a jam-packed week, and that it was. But we'll go through the chart here in just a moment. There wasn't really anything else that I wanted to mention at the moment. But yeah, their net cash position over 200 million. And we're sitting at a market cap of 279.516 million. So we'll go over to the ACB chart here on the NASDAQ. So we'll be charting this in US dollars. So on the monthly time frame, as I mentioned, we've still yet to start the monthly bounce. We've actually been dropping to monthly lower lows with monthly lower highs and lower lows, so in a monthly downtrend. In order to start the monthly bounce, we've got 19 days left in this candle. So in this month, we'd have to break 58 cents to start the monthly bounce, and then we would still need to form a high, a higher low, and a higher high, which we're nowhere close to doing. And just for an example, you can take a look at Cureleaf. Cureleaf has the low, high, higher low, and higher high, so it's already in a monthly uptrend. So if we can follow in those footsteps, start the monthly bounce. If you're wondering, when would be a good time to add, obviously not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, but maybe you want to wait for a monthly uptrend to confirm and add on a confirmation of that monthly uptrend confirming. But usually when monthly uptrends confirm, that means that we're quite a bit higher than where we are right now. So if you're looking at this name and you're looking to invest for the long term, obviously hard to go wrong at these prices. If you take a look at all-time highs, we're now down over 99%. If you take a look at the highs of February 2021, it's still down about 98%. So again, we still need to confirm monthly uptrends across the sector, and like I said, Aurora definitely one of the weaker ones because we haven't even started the monthly bounce yet. But you can see here we had a bear cross of the weekly EMAs, and then from there we went from the highs of February 2021 up at $18 post split down to about 43 cents was the low, 41 cents, and we could see a bull cross of these EMAs forming here. We almost had one back here on the HHS recommendation to Schedule 3, but if the DEA comes back and actually approves that, which I think is the most likely scenario and very probable that happens before the end of the year, then I think we could see this EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. That'd be another potential signal that potentially you could go long on if you start to see those EMAs cross bullish like we did back here in November of 2020, and then on the highs of February 2021 on the Dems taking control of the Senate on hopes of legalization. It actually didn't occur until January on Aurora. Some names saw it in November, and then some names ran a lot harder as well, but then we had the bear cross. So this is the first time since January of 2021 that we're potentially seeing these weekly EMA 12 and 26 bull cross. And then on the weekly time frame, we're back below the 10-week moving average. We already got the bear cross of the stochastic and the MACD out of the way, but it's starting to flip the other way, and we could see a bull cross here over the next few weeks, really. Like I said, I think a decision from the DEA is imminent, and I think that there's a very high chance that we could see this rescheduled into 2024, but a response from the DEA between now and the end of the year, and that would absolutely explode these stocks. We're back below all the weekly moving averages as well, and a lot of names are starting to trend back to their 100 weekly, and if Aurora were to do that, then that would put us around that $1.66 mark USD on the NASDAQ. And then in terms of the daily time frame, we're getting very close to a golden cross with the 50-day below the 200-day moving average. Again, it's very close. 58 cents is the 50 weekly, and then 63 cents is the 200. Sorry, the 58 is the 50 daily moving average, and 63 is the 200 daily moving average. And so we're only five penny differential there. So like I said, it's looking like it could be mere weeks here before we see that golden cross and some massive upside into the end of the year, not just on ACB, but it will more than likely be a sector-wide rally. Like I said, if DEA comes back and actually recommends Schedule 3, the problem with this is we've given back that whole move from the HHS recommendation, and actually ACB dropped to a lower low. So again, one of the weaker names, but the risk versus reward here is definitely massive and tilted toward the reward side. But like I said, definitely turning to turn things around. This is a great report, and we've really seen from a lot of our MJ companies, we've been starting to see a lot better reports lately, and just asset light models, and trying not trying not to be everything to everybody and focusing on a couple key components of their business and operations, right? So it's looking good, but in terms of technicals, definitely one of our weaker names. But like I said, definitely confirms, shows that we're starting to show some signs of life here and turning the ship around. So if you're looking for entries in ACB, like I said, it's definitely a great quarter, but still got a lot of work to do in terms of technicals before we can be confident that a bear market bottom is in. But like I said, I think the chances of the DEA coming back and approving this Schedule 3 recommendation are extremely high now. And then, like I said, based on this rip that we saw on the recommendation of Schedule 3, just imagine what is going to actually happen once we get DEA signed off and then DOJ, and then it actually gets enacted into 2024. And we know there's a bipartisan bill right now going through Congress that could potentially remove and deschedule and remove it from the Controlled Substances Act, right? So lots will be on the horizon in terms of reform and catalyst, but I think the most likely scenario is we get Schedule 3 and then ultimately descheduled and treated just like alcohol, right? But again, let me know what you thought of these earnings in the comment section below. I know a lot of retail investors were asking me to cover this, so I went ahead and wanted to dedicate a video to that. Maybe I'll do another video and we'll go over a bunch of other earnings as well. But there was a ton of earnings coming through, and I kind of just go through as many as I can, but mostly at the request of the community, right? I'm here for the community, and I wouldn't be here without you. So I kind of try to give the people what they want as much as possible, and try to cover the ones that are requested the most. And there's definitely a lot more retail investor attention into Aurora lately, and rightly so. We're starting to see a lot of positive signs. But going into there, it's Rod with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us again on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.